What's up, guys? Welcome back to another DIY episode here on Your Auto Enthusiast as I continue maintenance here on the 2020 Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Today I am changing the spark plugs. A little bit of housekeeping before I get started. Let me go over the tools and of course the parts that is needed and a couple of the steps that I'll run through before I start. First things first, a ratchet. I am using a 3/8 ratchet along with a couple of 3/8 extension. Don't know exactly how long of an extension you will need. I've got a 2-inch extension here and a 6-inch extension as well. Alongside of that, I've got a 3/8 swivel. That's probably going to help, especially as I get toward the back side of the engine, closer to the firewall. Also, you'll want to use a plastic removal tool to remove the clips on the coil packs. Two more sockets you will need is your 7mm, 8mm socket, which is actually for the clamps on each tube. A thin wall 14mm 12-point socket. And most importantly, your replacement parts. These are your NGK spark plugs. Now, if you hang around to the end, I will definitely explain to you why it will behoove you to order this from a place like Alfisimo or Madness Auto Works, as well as what I was quoted from the dealership. Alright, on this first one closest to this air duct, I'm having to use a T30 star bit, a little small tool, because it's in this kind of tight spot, and it looks like the other end or the bottom end of this air duct is actually a single-use clamp. So once I break that off, I would have to replace that. So we're not doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and start with this hard one first. Looks like all of the rest of the ignition coils, the rest of the way around, are easier to get to adjust the regular ratchet and socket. So just going to be super careful here so that I'm not dropping this if this backs all the way out, and it does. There it is there. And what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these hoses. Give me a little bit more wiggle room. I do have to be careful because I don't want to break any of those nipples. Break the nipple off. Let's back off the electrical harness. What might help if I just go ahead and pull this up. Maybe that'll give me a little bit more leverage. Let's see if that helped. Okay, actually, let's see. Do I need to press down? What's happening? There we go. Alright, I wasn't pressing down on this little piece right here. Press down on that and that releases it. But pulling it up, pulling the coil, ignition coil up first did help. Alright. Whew. There we go. Now it does not state that I need to replace these yet, so I'm just replacing the plugs. Now I am just going to go one plug at a time. I'm in no hurry, so we'll just go one for one. In this case, I think this is going to help along with the swivel tool. I'm going to have to go at a weird angle. Alright, I think we've got a good angle. Yep, good there. I might need a swivel. Might need a swivel on the back side of this. We shall see. Alright, I think I'm good. There we go. Slide it out. There it is. And that's what that one looked like. We're gonna go in reverse order, of course. I like this power torque socket. It is magnetized and it holds it in there pretty darn good. I picked this up at O'Reilly's, saving me from having to buy a whole $70 set, and having this on hand only cost me $8. I have definitely been in the position before where I had no choice but to buy the whole set of items because I only needed the one thing, and that's just how it came. In fact, they had multiple spark plug tools like extensions and swivels, and they only had 2 thin wall sockets in there, and that was the 14 and a 16. And I only needed the 14, so to spend $70 for that, I couldn't justify all the other stuff that I didn't need. So I was at Harbor Freight, in fact, that's where I looked the first time, and I went on to Advance, didn't find anything, and to the next place, which was just down the road, O'Reilly. So shout out to O'Reilly for coming through in the clutch. So that takes care of how you change your spark plugs. Pretty simple and straightforward. But let me say this part to you in terms of answering the question on how much I paid for the plugs. When I got them from Madness Auto Works, I paid about $137. So that makes them about $22, $23 per spark plug. When I got a quote from Alfa of Austin, they quoted about $437. So give or take a few dollars. So that is right around $72 a plug. With that said, make sure you're shopping around for your parts and getting your best deal. Thanks again for tuning in to another DIY here on Euro Auto Enthusiast. Have fun turning the wrench on your Alfa Romeo, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep driving. Salute.